Everybody again today too. So not a set of long speeches today, thankfully, but what I do want to say is just I found yesterday quite an exciting day. I think not only did we get a lot of really positive feedback from the Principal Secretary on the work that he's doing, he was very excited about all the different ventures that were being developed here in the booths behind and about the energy in the room. So I think it was really positive feedback. And I think similarly we got positive feedback from CEDA on the work that we're doing across all of the 4 cluster research areas, and the type of work that they can see as a potential for the future was clearly highlighted by, again, everybody in the booths behind. So I think over the course of the day yesterday, there was a lot of excitement being generated. And today is more of a hands-on day where we get to meet and greet and talk to each other more regularly and try and see how we can solve individual problems and how we can build partnerships, how we can build connectivity amongst the industry itself. So I'm very excited to see where all these partnerships have come from. If you think a year ago we hadn't started this project, it was only in January, and to see the success so far of this is quite spectacular. But it's, for me, still phase 1. It's still the starting block. We have a lot more that we need to do in terms of building these partnerships, building what was yesterday a clear link to getting finance to support expansion of the businesses, not just startup capital, but how do we get investors to bring it up to scale. And I think there's so many wonderful ideas of the bioeconomy that's been exhibited here that the potential is huge, and the potential to look at job creation, the potential to look at supporting the youth across Africa is incredible, and I think this, in many ways the sky is the limit on this. So I just want to really say thanks for all of the input from everybody here. Now we go into day 2. There's a few more kind of presentations and a lot more time for people to talk to each other. So I just really want to ask you to take that time to communicate, to discuss, to raise challenges you might have, because maybe somebody in the room has an answer to that challenge. To talk to people about the different opportunities they might have, and you might see some investors in the room that might say, hey, here's an idea, or somebody you can go to and talk to. So really make it as engaging as you can and as productive as you can. But I'm very excited to be a part of this, and most of you don't know my face because I'm only joining new, so I'm kind of getting in at the end of a first year of incredible work, but I'm committed with the team to make sure we expand on this in the years ahead. So that's based on your success, not ours. So thank you for that, and good luck with the rest of today. Thank you. I think, Jamila, you're next to come up and give a few key points, so really enjoy your day today.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. So my name is Jamila from Stockholm Environment Institute, and I'm going to take you through on the key messages and conclusion from the yesterday's opening day of our big day. Now, we started with opening remarks from our Center Director, Niall O'Connor, and then we also had the opportunity to have a very powerful note from His Excellency Håkan Åkesson, the Swedish ambassador to Kenya, who outlined Sweden's commitment to supporting Kenya's bioeconomy through CEDA and Team Sweden. We also had the PS, State Department for Investment, Trade and Industry, Dr. Juma Mukhwana. He also emphasized Kenya's readiness to industrialize and modernize its bio-based sector. The key message here is both governments have committed to creating an enabling environment for bioeconomic growth. Stockholm Environment Institute plays a big role in this, as explained by Ambassador Annik Markovic, our Engagement and Impact Director. We provide evidence-based development research that bridges policy and practice. This research is not abstract. It is meant to unlock pathways for real investment and real job creation. We also heard from Jordan Kyogo from the UK FCDO, where he presented the circular economy landscape. We also heard from Jonas Sefu from Pangea, who made the case that Kenya is a strategic entry point for bio companies looking to scale up in East Africa. We also heard from Tom Walsh, the CEO of Renetech. He highlighted why Swedish companies see Kenya as an investment opportunity. In the other session, we held a panel discussion with Linda Davis from Giraffe Bioenergy, Madeleine, the country manager from Business Sweden, KEPSA, Engineer Lucy, we had her presenting KEPSA, and Dr. Emmeline Skinner from UK High Commission. The panel discussed on building the Kenya bioeconomy and supporting bioeconomy cluster development and building partnership platform. It was chaired by our very own senior scientist, Dr. Ivar Vargan. Last but not least, we had the launch of the State of Bioeconomy in Kenya, a report that provides a baseline information showing the status of bioeconomy in our country, Kenya, built on the cluster roadmaps that we co-developed with all the entrepreneurs. If I were to summarize yesterday into one sentence, it would be this: Kenya bioeconomy is moving from potential to implementation. The regulatory framework is shifting, the private sector is ready, the research is ready, the cluster provides structure through which all these forces can converge. Our role today, whether you are a researcher, whether you are a policy maker, whether you are a business leader, is to operationalize this transaction. That's why this fair is very important. So please, kindly let's move forward with the same energy, with the same focus, with the same determination that characterized yesterday's session to a very successful session. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jamila. That was a nice summary of yesterday's session. And as we mentioned yesterday, so the Stockholm Environment Institute, together with Bioinnovate Africa, has been working very closely with the East Africa Science and Technology Commission in developing and advancing bioeconomy in the region. As we mentioned, we have the East Africa bioeconomy strategy. We have also been doing the status reports after every 2 years, the status report for bioeconomy after every 2 years. And this year, we are also going to produce the third version of the state of bioeconomy in Eastern Africa region. Eastern Africa, because we are also including Ethiopia in the community. So we've been doing this together with ISTECO, and we are privileged today to have the Deputy Secretary General, East Africa Science and Technology Commission, Fortunate Muyambi. So I want to give Fortunate this floor. He will also bring the focal persons from each country. We have South Sudan in the house, we have Uganda in the house, we have Tanzania in the house. So they are going to tell us what's the state of bioeconomy in their countries. Fortunate.
Good morning. Good morning. It's a pleasure to be here, and let me take this opportunity to thank Stockholm Environmental Institute, who has been a wrong partner with the East African community. And we have had several projects on bioeconomy. And I will do a presentation. After the presentation, I will call the member states, the ESC member states, focal points who have been doing great work in their countries on bioeconomy status in their respective countries. And we shall just ask them 2-3 questions as they discuss the status of report in their respective countries. I'm waiting for the presentation, but as Ruta said, may I be fortunate, I'm the Deputy Executive Secretary of East African Science and Technology Commission, one of the specialized institutions of ESC mandated for science, technology, and innovation in the region. And we have had quite a number of projects and initiatives, especially on bioeconomy with other initiatives. I will present today the status of bioeconomy in East Africa, actually in Eastern Africa, because we added Ethiopia as one of the Eastern Africa countries, because we share a lot of resources and also a lot of initiatives within the Eastern Africa. As you are aware, we have new babies in East African countries. Can you go back? We have added Democratic Republic of Congo and also Federal Republic of Somalia. So now East African community is now made up of 8 partner states, and we hope to cover the part of the north. We already have some countries that would like to join. They are still under process. Next. So as I said, the East African Science and Technology Commission is a specialized institution of ESC based in Kigali, Rwanda, and it is specialized for coordinating and promoting the development management of science, technology, and innovation in the region. And ESTECO has several projects that is undertaking. But I want to take you to the pillars of the 5 pillars of our strategic plan. And just in a summary, and you can get all the information from ESTECO from our web page. Next. Yeah, so we have the second strategic plan, of which has 5 priority areas. The first one is development of evidence-based policies and strategies and frameworks. And these include, when you go to the website, you will find many strategies and frameworks and policies, but you will also find the ESC regional bioeconomy strategy, of which was developed with partners, Stockholm Environmental Institute, ICIPE, Bioinnovate Africa, and also other partners. And also, we are also engaged in the science knowledge management to advance innovation and to advance innovations. And basically, we are looking at scientific knowledge and technology advancement. The third pillar is the application of science and technology for economic development. There are many initiatives or interventions under this strategic area, and also enhance participation. And can you go back, please? Enhance stakeholders' engagement with STI, and then strengthening institutional framework. Next. I think all of us, we are here because of bioeconomy, and I'm not going to go through what bioeconomy is, but every status report or every bioeconomy strategies or policy for countries, they have their specific unique definition. The EU has its own definition. East African community will have our own definition. The partner states have their also specific definition. And I would like to inform you that East African Science and Technology Commission with Stockholm Environment developed the second regional strategy. The first one is European Union, and the second one is the East African Community Regional Bioeconomy Strategy. And we are now helping our partner states to develop their respective national policies and strategies. Now, we are looking at the renewable biological resources with value-added products. That's the most important. We want to add value to our renewable biological resources, thus converting them into useful products for food, for feed, pharmaceuticals, and bioenergy. And most of these priority areas are the ones that ESC brought in as priority areas under the bioeconomy strategy. And we want to prioritize economic growth, especially from the traditional and the new emerging industry-based bioresources. And we want also to create and develop new markets and increase competitiveness in the entire economy on the bioresources. Next. What are the opportunities that we have in ESC on bioeconomy? Maybe yesterday you might have discussed some, or today you'll be discussing some. But for us as the East Africans, we are looking at significant potential to support several critical development goals and targets in the region. And we are looking at sustainable industrialization, which comes obviously with job creation and green growth. We want to revitalize the bioprocessing and biomass value chains. We want to improve food security through enhanced value chains and processing, and also improve health using especially the biodiversity in the region to develop cost-effective bio-based production systems, especially in various pharmaceutical products. Next. We also have an opportunity for creation of new bio-based products, which includes biomaterials for construction, bio-inputs in agriculture, enzymes for industry, bio-based food stocks. We want also link farmers and bio-entrepreneurs to market opportunities, which is very important for our citizens. And then create new forms of clean, sustainable, modern bioenergy, looking at biofuels, transportation, and also green generating electricity and the waste materials for industrial development. And then also the whole underlining of bioeconomy is the climate change adaptation by protecting our environment through converting of these wastes. And when you go behind there in the exhibition, you will see a lot of these examples, products and services that have been produced. Next. The regional context of bioeconomy in Eastern Africa, everybody knows we are very enjoyed with the rich biodiversity and strong bioresources production base. So we don't have an excuse of not being involved in the bioresource product conversion. And as you are aware, 30% of our region GDP is attributed to agriculture and also bioeconomy-related sectors, forestry, energy, industry, and also there is a very low degree of bioprocessing and value addition in the primary produce. Once you see what is behind you in the exhibition, you will really appreciate the conversion of the bioprocessing and value addition in our bio resources. And we have also seen the increased support, stronger, especially on research and innovation capabilities. What you will see behind is the innovations that the citizens of ESC have come for value addition and also economic increase in income for our people. But there is insufficient development of industrial capacity related to bioeconomy. We have also linkages between science, researchers, research institutions, and industry, and especially funding for the innovators, because these innovators go to the banks to get funding, but because they don't have any security, they say, we cannot give you any loan because your product is not even commercialized, is not out there for selling. So we still have funding gaps, and also have inadequate business incubation financing resources, and also lack of venture capital. And when O'Neill was saying on the financing of bioeconomy is very important, we need to discuss and come up with actions on how we can finance the bioeconomy in the region. And then also inadequate systems for standard setting, certification, accreditation of products that are limited to trade, especially bio-based products. When you go behind where they are innovators, very few have standards, very few are certified, and also very few are accredited for these products. But we would like to involve IP also in our products, production, especially commercialization. And the East African community is helping in this. We have now East African regional IP policy, which is helping innovators on registering their patents, registering their innovations, and also we are going now to start on the certification and standards for bio-based products and services. Next. So, as I said, East African community, in a partnership with Stockholm Environmental Institute, funded by ECP, by Innovate, developed the first in Africa, the East African Regional Bioeconomy Strategy. And when you go on a STECO website, you'll find it. And we are now going for mid-term review, because now it is 2.5 years that we have developed this strategy, and the implementation, we need to review its implementation. Next. The strategic and thematic areas under this strategy are only 4. We are looking at food security and sustainable agriculture. We are looking at health and well-being. We are looking at bio-based industry development and also sustainable energy. Next. The vision of our strategy is to have a vibrant, inclusive, and innovative bioeconomy, contributing to sustainable economic growth and development in Africa. And we want to also catalyze and support innovative and sustainable use of bioresources as a major driver of inclusive economic growth and development. And the overall objective basically is on sustainable economic growth for job creation, making use of the regional bioresources for various products and services, while contributing to improve the environment and climate change mitigation. But to achieve this, we need to have some interventions. These are now the regional and international collaboration, sharing knowledge and building capacity. We have to promote regional markets for bio-based trade. We have to have harmonized region approach to create structures. We have to develop national bioeconomy strategies and policy agendas, and then do joint monitoring and information sharing of bioeconomic development as a regional bioeconomy observatory. Next. I will go one by one under the thematic areas. This is food security and sustainable agriculture. The strategy looks at how the value addition for food crops, livestock, forestry, marine and aquatic resources, and microbial products will we will introduce the new bio-based technologies solution, strengthen food and food production, ensuring food security. And also looking at the novel food and feed products and bio-based agriculture inputs. And I'm very happy that when I was moving in the innovator side yesterday, I found all these already products and services that are under the food security and sustainable development. Next. The second strategy is health and well-being. There are very many products outside there, even behind you, for health and pharmaceuticals. We are looking at bio-based pharmaceuticals, we are looking at the bio-based traditional medicine, and we are also looking at the bio-based cosmetics and well-being products. All these are to develop a bio-based healthcare sector that will be contributing towards the healthy population and improve the well-being. And we are looking at addressing regional priorities and building on indigenous knowledge and practice. And also all these are already behind. I went one by one to ascertain if we have products and services under health and well-being. And they are enzymes. We are looking at bio-based construction materials. We are looking at bio-based textile fibers, and we are looking also at renewable bio-based oils. Even there are many oils behind there. There are many bio-packaging materials out there. We are also looking at the fiber textile, which is also behind you in the innovators section. Next. The last one is on sustainable energy. And basically, this is looking at the range of bioenergy products, both at the household level and at the industry, at the house and the industry purposes. And these cover bio-based briquettes and pellets on the alternative to charcoal and firewood. We are also looking at the production of biogas from organic waste and also advanced biofuels. And all these are already out, and most of the biomass briquettes and pellets and the biogas are already in our households being used for as alternative to charcoal and firewood. And this also brings in the conservation of biodiversity within the region. Next. Ruta talked about the status reports. So when we started the project of bioeconomy in the Eastern region, we wanted also to have the status report of East African Community bioeconomy every 2 years. And we first developed the one for 2022, immediately after the launch of the bioeconomy strategy. We also developed the second. This was basically on the status of bioeconomy in terms of policies and strategies, but the second one of 2024 looked at food systems and agriculture and food system. Now we are currently starting tomorrow developing the third. The third is going to be on industry development, and we are following our strategic areas. So the fourth will be on energy, the fifth will be on also on other thematic areas. Next. All of these are available on the STECO webpage. And finally, we also launched the East African Bioeconomy Observatory, which is an online knowledge center. This is where you find all the resources in East African community in terms of research, in terms of R&D, in terms of initiatives, in terms of expertise, in terms of the status of bioeconomy in each partner state, especially the 6 partner states where we have already collected data. This was launched in 2020, and it's now the observatory is very operational, and we are currently serializing also the report. This observatory also helps us to come up with the status reports because we collect data from the partner states on this. And also this observatory is the second in the world. The first one is also European Union Observatory, and this is now the second in the world for East African region. And we will also want to create, we are in talks with the ECOWAS, we are in talks with the SADC, especially on bioeconomy, and as you are aware, we held the Global Bioeconomy Summit here in Nairobi, 2024, and we're the organizers, we're the conveners of this global bioeconomy. The next one is in October, and I think Finland, we are also going to be part of that. But before that, we are going to have a regional bioeconomy conference to prepare for the global summit of the bioeconomy. And this is going to be September next year in Uganda. Next. Now, we have enablers. I don't know if you talked about enablers yesterday about of the bioeconomy. And I want to reiterate on also on what O'Neill said. The first one is the enabling policy and regulatory environment, which we have done now. We already have the regional strategies. We are now going for national policies and strategies. The second, which is very important, and Onir has talked about this morning, is the financing. We need to facilitate access to appropriate financing to support implementation of priority strategic interventions that will deliver regional bioeconomy outcomes and impacts. And then the third is capacity building. We have universities that have already started bioeconomy courses at master's level, at PhD level, and very many now research on the PhD level and the master's level on the bioeconomy. So we need to build human and infrastructure capacity for research, entrepreneurship, and business development that is very required for a strong bioeconomy value addition or value chains in the region. Next. We need to have effective partnership and collaboration. What we have done in East African community now, it is because of partnership and collaboration. And we are going to have more partners and collaborators on this, and we must take the lead. We must take the lead and support the development and deployment of well-coordinated, functional, innovative partnership and collaboration. Effective leadership and communication is very important. I don't know how many communication experts we have in this room. If you are a communication expert, can you raise your hand, please? Would like to appreciate. We have one. We have 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's good. Scientists, we talk to ourselves. That's the challenge we have. We talk terminologies. We talk hard English that we even ourselves we barely understand. We need science to be converted to a message that can be understood by all. So, communication is very important in delivering and disseminating information for our bioeconomy. That's why we have conferences, that's why we have summits on bioeconomy to relay information. That's why we have the observatory to distribute, to disseminate our bioeconomy information. So, we need amongst key actors and the general population about the concept of bioeconomy, and they also need to know the needs of its development, especially contributing to the SDGs and combating climate change. We need also to develop outreach programs to communicate bioeconomy prospects and stimulating demand for bioproducts through mandates. Another important is the enabler is creating innovation platforms to drive R&D. These have already been created. We have the observatory. We have now this is a platform where we are communicating our results in terms of webinars, conferences, meetings, and workshops. Next. This is the last slide. It talks about East African bioeconomy strategic initiatives. What has been done now? There are very many, but these are the key that we can be proud of in East Africa. One, national bioeconomy strategies. We have supported Uganda and Rwanda to develop their own national policies, and this is a detailed action plan that can be developed and are very relevant and appropriate for each country, because each country has their own unique situations, and the regional strategy was only to inspire the national partner states to develop their national policies as an inspiration. We also have, I've talked about the Bioeconomy Observatory Knowledge Sharing Portal that provides a regional open access repository for bioeconomy data and information. This is also available and you can also access it. We have also bioeconomy regional conferences, as we talked about. Now we are going to have the 4th in September. And this one is increase awareness for stakeholders on bioeconomy, enhance stakeholders' commitments, and then strengthen coordination of bioeconomy initiatives. We also have the bioeconomy regional status reports, those we have seen, that provides the latest scientific evidence of the status of the bioeconomy in the region. And then the last one is the EAC Regional Bioeconomy Roundtable Policy Dialogues. We are going through each partner state. I think we did Tanzania and Burundi. Now next is going to be Uganda. We call policy decision makers. We call members of parliament. We call the Parliamentary Committee on Science and Technology. We call committees of parliament in all the EAC partner states, the Committee on Agriculture and the Forestry. We discuss with them we give them the scientific evidence-based information that they can base themselves on making policy decisions, especially on standardized harmonization of various research for development products. So this is so far the initiatives that ESTECO and the Stockholm Environmental Institute, ICIPE and Bioeconomy Africa program are engaged in the implementation of the bioeconomy strategy. For more information, please visit our webpage. You will find everything that I've highlighted. I think that's the end. Yeah, thank you very much. Ruta, I can allow only 2-3 questions, then I call the partner states who are here to only give us the status of their bioeconomy in their respective countries. Those who have 2-3 burning, it can be a supplement, it can be a question, and if there is none, then let me call upon, yeah.
Thank you so much for that insight. But my concern is that we have disconnect in terms of entrepreneurship development. That is in line on human skill, human capital skill. For instance, that the universities have adopted teaching masters and all that. But there is that aspect of entrepreneurship. Because maybe my point is, human resource from human resource perspective, when human are motivated, then the strategy can be achieved. So that is basically my concern, just empowering human capital.
Yeah, and I said as a neighbor, we need to do capacity building, especially on human capital. And so far, we have the universities. If you go to CP and you see the PhD researchers doing innovations in bioeconomy, you really appreciate that there is a lot going on. Secondly, on innovation and entrepreneurs, as you are aware that me, when I was doing my master's, even a PhD, I was not taught any entrepreneurship. It's now that they have brought in these entrepreneurship skills in the syllabus now. Doctors they operate business, they have clinics, they have hospitals, but they never studied entrepreneurship. Something is missing in between. So now what we have done is capacity building programs for innovators and entrepreneurs. And I will leave that to ICIPE, Bioeconomy Africa, that have a program for capacity building of innovators and on entrepreneurship skills development. East African community, we have also online now course called the Innovation and Entrepreneurship Skills Development, and it is a MOOC, massive online course. You just go and attend, there is a tutor online, and then once you finish your course and you do the exam, automatically you receive your certificate. And now we are rolling it to each and every partner state. Secondly, we are talking with universities to include, from bachelors, to include bioeconomy as a course in each and every university in ESC. We already have now registered almost 280 universities in ESC under the Inter-University Council of East Africa who are members, and we have met to discuss with them, including a course of bioeconomy in each bachelor's level and research at the PhD and master's level. Thank you. Next.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Fortunate. Yes, I am Caesar from Fortunate, and thank you for this eye-opening presentation. You have touched on intellectual property, particularly patents. Is it possible for you to shed more light on the process and the cost, particularly for innovators in East Africa, would like to patent their inventions. Thank you.
Thank you. Once you have your idea of an innovation idea, and looking at the partner states, we have patent registration offices in each partner state. In Uganda, we have the Uganda Bureau of Standards. Here, you might have KEPSI. All these are institutions put by the government to help you to document. We have also Alipo if you want to go regional. We have also WIPO if you want to go international. Now, we have ISTECO putting in place an IP policy that takes you, guides you on how you can register your patent or your innovation idea. Now, the challenge we have in East Africa is the process that is involved is quite tedious, and people abandoned in the middle because you require a lot of, depending on what you are registering, you require a lot of documentation. Registration might not, the amount might not be a lot, but the document which is required is quite a lot. But ISTECO is helping because now we have patent, we have IP lawyers now in East Africa that are helping our innovators to register their patents. Now, the process is quite big. Once you have your idea, you register it first of all with the patent office. And once your idea has been, you document, they give you quite a number of scripts to register. And you have to go process by process how you are going to, all this that is needed into your, if you are, all your formulas. So you disclose everything to the patent office. Once that is done, they come and look at your product, test it to the process you have described, and then they look around and see if anybody else has that idea that you have brought in. And this means that they have to assess their databases to see if your idea, because innovation is a new idea. It shouldn't have been, it might be an idea but has never been registered, but you might be the first one to register. So now they take you that process, then some are for 1 year, some are for 5 years, some are for 3 years. And once those 3 years end, somebody else can come and register your idea, unless you're new. We have unregistered patents, or we also renewed expired patents. And now what we have done is we have made a database of expired patents, especially in innovation of science and technology innovation. So we know now the unregistered patents, which have expired their period, but we put it out there if anybody has any idea to register in that. So the process is quite long, but I can give you documentation on the process. And every innovator that we support in ESC, we also support them to develop to register their patents and copyrights and everything, especially on different regimes, because IP has different regimes of registration. Thank you.
Thank you. I have 2 questions. Thank you for the awesome presentation. My first question is, what is the future of bioeconomy in Africa in terms of implementation in the next 10 years? And then the second question is, do we have a strategy to counter and secure the bioeconomy business within the East Africa region so that we don't have those trade wars that we have been having within the East Africa, whereby we have Uganda not accepting our trucks to go over, or maybe Tanzania? Do we have a strategy to counter this? Because I'm into insect economy, that is the black soldier fly. So I really need to know if I'm safe. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll start with one of the business across borders. We have a pillar in the East African community that gives free movement of goods and persons. And now we have what we call collaborative joint programs where we have a researcher in Uganda, we have a researcher in Kenya, we have a researcher in Tanzania, and they are doing one product. And how will that product move from one partner state to another? So we have free trade of goods and services, including bioeconomy products and services, and we have developed now the policy on bioeconomy, especially on R&D. These are products that are made that need to cross from one partner state to another. And the law is very clear. Once your product is registered with the registration board in your partner state, of the 3 partner states, you are free to move a product and services from one partner state to another, especially on R&D products. Secondly, the guaranteeing the future of bioeconomy. Actually, we have a bright future of bioeconomy in the region. So far now, I was looking at 40 billion US dollars in the whole world for that only bioeconomy in the last year brought in. And when we look at East African community, we have found out that most of the informal sector bioeconomy is flourishing, especially when you look on the innovators that are outside there. You look that the products are there and people are interested in buying these products. Now, what are we planning for the future of bioeconomy? Leave alone, now we already have a neighboring environment. We are now talking with the governments to do their tax incentives on products of bioeconomy, to funding of R&D from 1%, 2%, although some partner states have not reached that funding of R&D from the Lagos Protocol, where each country has to allocate 1% of their GDP to R&D. We are now talking with the East African governments to increase that R&D for more research and development. And the second is opening the market to the outside. We have many products of bioeconomy here, of bioresources, products and services. We would like to export all our products. We had a project between the African Union and Europe on bioeconomy exports to Europe, opening markets, and then also financing. We would like to include financing for R&D for our products, which are part of the enablers. Actually, all the enablers that I've talked about are the ones that are taking us to the future with the bioeconomy. And also capacity building, as we said, doing research in the universities is also something that I've seen that have increased. And we hope that the bioeconomy resources will overtake even the gold export, the mineral export in Africa in the near future. Because this is a bioresource that is an alternative to many chemicals, to many biofuels, to many fossil fuels, and also pharmaceuticals. So we have a bright future for our bioeconomy in the region. I'll take only one.
Thank you for the good presentation. My question is it's not a question, but an observation and a comment. I have noticed that most youth, especially youth innovators, lack the intellectual property rights knowledge. So I think it's very important that even before they get to the patenting stage, they know of their intellectual property rights. Because when they are going to an investor or a donor, they know what to say and they can be able to express their innovation without actually saying, what's unique about their project. So I think in the capacity building efforts, we should also include trainings on intellectual property rights, because I think that's an area where youth are lacking knowledge in, especially in innovation. Thank you.
Thank you. I agree with you on that. And for each and every innovation training, with the already now, ICPE must be having, Bioinnovate Africa must be having more than 1,000 innovators, grantees that have received funding for innovations. But the first thing they start with is the entrepreneurship and IP training and awareness. And currently, we already have almost 1,600 youth innovators that has gone through the boot camp for IP regimes. And we are, every year we do these trainings, both online and physical, especially for mentorship, boot camps, and also training on skills development. So I agree with you. It is something that we shall intensify. Thank you very much. Let me invite, I don't know how many minutes we have, Chair. Okay. Let me invite, Ruta, can I have some chairs here? Let me invite Rwanda. Albert, let me invite Paul from Tanzania. We have South Sudan. Don't know if Uganda is here. Kenya, we have Real. Can I have a mic? Thank you. I'll first give an opportunity for your introduction. These are our focal points on bioeconomy in our partner states. Some will arrive today because we have another meeting tomorrow, starting tomorrow. These are the few who would be able, who can have attended this event. Let me take this opportunity to give them a chance to introduce themselves.
Thank you for the chance. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Jambo. My name is Ngor Joseph Akok from the Republic of South Sudan, working with the Ministry of East African Community Affairs as Inspector for Trade and Investment. Thank you.
Good morning to everyone. My name is Albert Luhakana. I am Executive Director of Health Food and Feed Company. This is a private organization which is dealing with food supplement for human beings and feeding animals. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Paulo Changa. I'm Tanzanian, working with the Tanzanian Commission for Science and Technology, COSTECH, as a manager of life sciences. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I will give you an opportunity to give us the status of bioeconomy in your partner states. Just 5 minutes for each panelist. We'll start from Paul.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Muyambi. Just starting, I can say that just like other countries in Africa, Tanzania, we have huge biodiversity and agricultural sector, agricultural products, and there is a growing focus on value addition on the bio-based products in Tanzania, based on the biodiversity and agricultural products which we have in Tanzania. Yeah, I can say that, of course, in Tanzania we have not yet developed the bioeconomy strategy or policy, but we have several strategies and policies that signage on the development of bioeconomy in the country. Yeah, I can just say that we have existing bio-based industries. For example, we have Tanzania Biotech Product Limited, which produce biopesticides for biolarvicides focusing in mosquitoes and pesticides for crops. But we also have Veridium, a company which also produce biomass briquettes using elephant grass. We have Katani Limited producing biogas and fertilizer using Saiso bioproducts. We have Baresa Food Product Limited. I think we know Baresa company, which deal with food and beverage products, but of course it's very huge. But now they also have a MOU with SUA. They are going to use a BSF for a degradation of industrial waste which they are producing, but also for production of animal feeds and fertilizer. And this, of course, material will come from their production, waste product from their production. We have Taki Mifugo Company, which produce biodegradable packaging bags. We have Kilimo Organo Limited, which also do the same thing, produce biodegradable bags. We have Industrial Packaging Limited, IPL, also doing the same thing. But of course, we also have growing initiatives in a bio-based production. For example, we have Vuruga Biocide, which is a producing biological pesticide. We have also Kiwango Leather cluster. This is a cluster focusing in processing of vegetable leather processing, and they also producing leather goods. This is a cluster, of course, was formed by PhD student from Nelson Mandela University. Of course, we have a number of natural products initiatives. We have NIMRI, National Institute for Medical Research, Mabibo. We have ITM from Muhimbili University, which also deal with production of natural products, herbal medicines, and the cosmetics. But also they have their part in conservation of those natural products. But we have Akika biofertilizer, Akika turning waste industry, these street waste products to biofertilizers, and they are even able to export now their products. I can say that we have many these bio-based small industrial, but maybe I can just mention the few. Coming to edible oils, we have many local edible oil processors, sunflower and palm oil processors. But of course, we have few modern industry, refining industry. Of course, there is a problem, but now, of course, I just developed a proposal which I submitted to the government. On how we can have a contract farming with these small farmers and local producers, local processors, so that they can, when they process, they can sell to big refineries so that they can have a market. We have ongoing projects on Temdo and Suwa. So is Sokoino University of Agriculture. They are designing bioreactor for enzyme production. But as I say, we have also many bio-based innovation projects in Tanzania. But we also have clusters which are managed under triple LX model, that is regulators, government, institute, and private sectors are managing the clusters to develop their products. So let me finish with the challenges in the bioeconomy development in Tanzania. Of course, the first challenge is that we have inadequate integration of efforts. Many of institutions and individuals are working in silos. Everyone are making efforts on their own, and this disintegrates. Therefore, there is no system which connects them, so that when for example, an innovator started, then they can be integrated with the market, with the business registration and other things. But we have also problem in standardization and quality control. Of course, most of our products are not competitive enough. They cannot compete with other products, for example, from China and other countries outside. So this also is a challenge. But we have also a challenge in the commercialization of bioproducts. As someone has said, researchers and innovators, most of the time they concentrate in producing the product or prototype, but they don't even have the idea of business models. They don't know how they can register their product. So they are working, they're concentrating in producing the prototype, but they cannot sell. So, of course, connecting it with the integration, there is needs to strengthen the collaboration between actors, between different experts, so that we have the chain of production from the innovator, from the researcher, business model, regulator, and the industry market. And of course, I said also we have poor linkage with industry. That is a problem. Most of these prototypes and products don't go to market. Of course, one, because industries, sometimes researchers or innovators produce what industry don't need. So, of course, there is for example, here at Costech now, we are trying to engage industry before for example, before the production, we engage industry so that they can give us a path how they need that product to be. We have regulatory issues, regulatory oversight. As someone has said, there is long and overlapping administration issues for innovators, so it takes them a long time to reach the market, to register their products, and that's the problem also. But also we have policy issues as IP policy IP issue. For example, in the indigenous knowledge, we are getting very hard on how they can protect their product, for example, in nutraceutical or in herbal medicine. Because, of course, as you know, most of these traditional knowledge, they are commonly owned traditional medicine which is used by one ethical group can be used of another ethnic group can also use it, and it's common, I think, across Africa. So it's becoming very difficult to get IP. And of course, I can say there's experienced researchers and innovators take this opportunity to register those things just by doing the research and maybe coming up with a compound or a functional group, and then they register, they say, this is mine, and then with those traditional knowledge, people in the local area cannot get anything from that initiative or in that product. But we also have a problem with accessibility and visibility of bio-based products in Tanzania. Of course, this is mainly caused by the trust. Many people trust that product from outside, from China, from Germany, are better than the one which are produced locally, and that is also a problem. So they don't go to the local produced products. They just find the Chinese ones and other products in the market. They think that the one we have via this is just, as we say, as the Bible says, "Nabii asifiki kwao." Yeah? People don't trust things which are produced with the same people they know. But of course, last we also have a problem with the finance, infrastructures. Yeah. To finish, of course, I can say that we need to establish clear and consistent regulatory framework to provide stakeholders with certain and facilities for sustainable resource management. Thank you very much.
Albert, but let me first give an opportunity to Dr. Ongor to introduce himself. Then.
Okay, thanks a lot, Deputy Executive Secretary Isteko. I came a bit late. Let me introduce myself very briefly. My name is Martin Ongol, Deputy Executive Secretary, Uganda National Council for Science and Technology. And of course, we have been actively participating in the bioeconomy arena within the East African community, right from the policy development and the status report build-up. I'm happy to be here in Nairobi, learning more and also sharing and to get to know how we are advancing in terms of bioeconomy. Thank you.
You're welcome, Dr. Ngol. Albert, you can give us the status report on bioeconomy in Rwanda. Thank you.
Thank you. Status of bioeconomy in Rwanda. Bioeconomy status in Rwanda is using renewable biological resource and technology to create a product and service. This bioeconomy status is clustered into 5 clusters.
Albert, you can increase the... Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Yeah, bioeconomy status in Rwanda is clustered into 5 clusters. The one, agriculture, food, whereby improve the crop varieties, sustainable farming, biofertilizer and the biopesticide, food processing and the value addition. Then the second, bioenergy, have plant of biogas from manure, sewage and organic waste, biofuel, biomass energy and biobriquettes. Then the third one, biotechnology. We have agriculture biotechnology whereby improved seed, disease-resistant crops, medical biotech, where now the country have made biotech, which is making a vaccine, diagnostics, and the pharmaceutical industrial. We have industrial biotechnology, where they are making enzymes, fermentation, bio-based and manufacturing. We have also circular biology, which is the default cluster, where we're turning waste into value, recycling biomass, using organic waste for climate-smart solution. And then there is a class of ecosystem service and natural-based solution, whereby a program for agroforestry, restoration of degraded land, sustainable forestry, and the biodiversity. Then, why bioeconomy is matter in our country? Some key relevance are economic growth, where modern agriculture to create a sustainable job through bioprocessing and industrial development. Food security, enhancing productivity and reduce post-harvest losses, and the bio-based technology. Health and well-being were developed the local biopharmaceutical, like BioNTech, you have said, vaccine factory, to reduce import and deliveries to external export. The climate change to support carbon neutral goal through sustainable energy and the circular economy, referring to Paris Agreement. In Rwanda, bioeconomy sector, we have policy and strategy leading to bioeconomy. We have Vision 2050. We have National Strategic for Transformation, Part 2, as we close Part 1, since 2017, 2024. From 2024 to 2029, we are at the NS22. Here, Rwanda aims to high-income country, carbon neutral economic through economic transformation, agriculture modernization, and the biomanufacturing. We have environmental policy of 2019, where green growth and the climate resilience strategy guides lower carbon development, national environmental and climate energy policy, promotes ecosystem health and the climate resilience. Action plan to drive the bioeconomy is the Circular Economy Action Plan of 2022, National Biodiversity Strategy and Action Plan from 2025 to 2030, promoting resource efficiency and waste reduction across all sectors, climate and the nature finance strategy for 2024, whereby mobilizing fund for nature and positive investment. Biomass resource planning of 2020, where we examine energy between energy and the non-energy use for bioresources. Then the bioeconomy ecosystem actors to implement this strategy and the program. We have government leadership. We are a Minister of Environment, leading law climate, National Council for Science Technology, in policy on science technology, among others. Bioeconomy is a key. Rwanda Development Board, which attracting investors on bioeconomy sector, Minister of Agriculture, Minister of Trade and Commerce, and so on. Private sector investors, he said HFC, were leading with 3F model, fertilizer, feed, and the health food for human beings, animals, feed, and the biofertilizer from the waste and the BioNTech for vaccine. Then in 2024, the country launched the Bioeconomy Hub in the University of Luanda College of Science and Technology, where now capacity building and innovation is being led. Then we have the international partners like GIZ, like ALCOS, like UNDP, which supporting building the environment in the biocircular program. Then you have some emergence opportunity on the bioeconomy. Biopharmaceutical, I've said the regional hub of vaccine and manufacturing, sustainable agriculture, organic fertilizer and climate change, circular economy, converting organic waste into valuable products, bioenergy solution, technology for efficient energy use in agriculture and the rural community, then carbon market, natural-based solution, and the biodiversity conservation opportunity. Then you have long-term roadmap toward Luanda vision of 2020-2050 of 30 years. First, the country mobilized the initiative, finance, engaging private sector and government and international organizations through green finance mechanisms. Invest in infrastructure, develop agro-processing facilities and biorefinery. Expand human capital, strengthening vocational training program, researchers, and long-term education. Streamlining policy, finalize as the ISTECO head office said, they are helping to develop a comprehensive national bioeconomy strategy. Now it's ongoing. Enhance market linkage, establish a standard and certification for Luanda bioproducts, promote private sector engagement involving research and development initiative. So we have some critical challenge. As all said, the financial constraint. We have a limited access to the venture capital and tailored financial product for bioeconomy products. We have still skills shortage where we need a specialized educated person for bioeconomy. We have barrier to market access, infrastructure deficit, and the policy fragmentation whereby we lack the comprehensive national strategy which can hinder the effective implementation on bioeconomy. By closing, building Luanda bioeconomy future, bioeconomy is transformative, ambitious for sustainable development, connecting biological resource with innovation to achieve the Vision 2050 through strategic investment, policy, alignment, and collaboration action clause, private sector, international partners. Luanda is positioned to become a regional bioeconomy hub. Then I can say to you all for your attention. Thank you.
Thank you, Albert, for the status report Rwanda. Let me invite Joseph from South Sudan. Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the brief status of South Sudan bioeconomy. And South Sudan is rich in natural assets, but remains one of the least industrialized economies globally due to instability, conflict, and heavy reliance on the oil sector. This is a country that employs over 80% of the population, yet contributes minimally to export, heavy dependence on oils. That makes at times the economy vulnerable to price shocks and perpetuate dependency on foreign markets with a very limited or no value addition. Bioeconomy, as the definition suggests, uses of biological resources, plants, animals, microorganisms, organic waste, along with the biotechnology and innovation to produce food, energy, materials, and services sustainably. For South Sudan, bioeconomy holds significant potentials because the country has vast natural resources, but limited industrial development, meaning opportunities for green, inclusive growth. The variation in the climatic conditions in South Sudan has been persisting for several years, and this has resulted into pervasive poverty, environmental degradation, widespread waterborne diseases in flood-prone areas. Recently, according to the World Bank Natural Resource Review, South Sudan has extensive forest cover, 30% of the land, significant fisheries, especially in the Sud wetland. Ladies and gentlemen, the Sud wetland in South Sudan represents one of the largest freshwater ecosystems in the world. And it is the home to the largest population of the animals that you have witnessed, that South Sudan has the largest animal migration. And Sud wetland is a home to this population. And its ecosystem also sustain the livelihoods of the local population within the area. So the country is beginning to view its biological resources, forest, fisheries, wildlife, not just for subsistence, but as a foundation for sustainable industrial development. Currently, the country does not have a dedicated national policy on bioeconomy, but it has a framework that is built around biodiversity and a strategy, a regional strategy, such as the EAC bioeconomy strategy for sustainable resource use. South Sudan benefits from also the regional bioeconomy initiatives and also the Bioinnovate Africa programs as funded biologically based innovation projects in South Sudan. Bio-based industrial development represents a transformative opportunity for South Sudan to leverage its rich renewable resources, natural resources to diversify its economy, generate green jobs, and build sustainable industries. Because of the environmental degradation and widespread use of areas that are usually flooded in South Sudan, the country in this regard has partially initiated national bioeconomy strategy to solve those issues. And they are as follows: embarking on sustainable agriculture, that is to achieve through introduction and implementation of climatic smart agriculture, cultivation of nitrogen-fixing crops in order to enhance soils with the aim of maximizing production, improve water harvesting skills, and application of biofertilizers, which are environmental friendly. Bio-based products that will also involve the establishment of bio-based industries to impact on the production of biomaterials, such as biochemical and bioplastics, with the aim of converting biomass into high-value products. Improved health and food systems, with nutrition and sustainable food productions, also integrating health and well-being. Other than that, I would like to end here, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
Thank you, Joseph. Let me take this opportunity to welcome Dr. Martin Ongol to give a status report on Uganda. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Fortunate, and thank you all delegates for attending this morning's session. I'm going to give an overview about the bioeconomy status report of Uganda. And from Uganda, we start from our National Development Agenda, which is the Vision 2040, that looks at transforming Uganda's economy from a peasant to a modern and prosperous economy, which is knowledge-based, and they are talking of science, technology, and innovation as a key driver for our development. And to achieve that, our development agendas have been split into 8 5-year period development programs, and right now we are on National Development Plan 4, which is running from 2025 to 2030, and we have an ambition of transforming our economy from a $50 billion economy to a $500 billion economy by 2040. And the key driver of this transformation is going to be science, technology, and innovation. And one of the areas that we are looking to develop further is on agro-industrialization. And currently, if you have heard about the news within the sub-Saharan Africa, the Ugandan currency is currently doing very well. And also in terms of exports and the like, we are doing quite well, mainly in terms of coffee, which is actually one of the outcomes or the outputs of the bioeconomy. And agriculture still represents about 24% of our GDP. But if you look at it in totality, in terms of in terms of bioeconomy, that's something that can go to over 45%. And of course, it's the largest industry in the country and employs over 80% of the people in Uganda. So it's a major job creator and driver of the bioeconomy process. So when I start with agriculture as a sector, as I mentioned in my opening remark, is that coffee now is a major forex earner for Uganda. And the last time we hit very good returns on coffee, it was in 1978. And then in 2024, 2025, again, we achieved that. And we are the major exporter, second largest exporter of coffee in sub-Saharan Africa. And this has been achieved mainly through advancements in bioeconomy. And one of the most notable ones is the production of clonal coffee, which grow fast. They are high yielding and they are well adapted to Uganda's ecological conditions. Another reason is changes in farming practices, where, for instance, use of organic manure and biofertilizers have become a very essential component of our production systems. Within agriculture, the other second major contributor actually is the banana industry in Uganda. Indonesia is the largest producer of banana in the world. Uganda is the second producer of bananas in the world. But in terms of domestic consumption and utilization, Uganda is number one. And out of it, first of all, it has provided food security in Uganda. In Kampala, when you just look at bananas alone, you just know that there is no way somebody can be hungry in this city, mainly because it's a low-cost source of food. But then, in terms of technology, we have gone further. We have set up a banana industrial park in western Uganda with a capacity of processing, I think, over 24,000 tons per day. And now we are producing banana flour, banana starch, and actually that banana is now being exported to Turkey, Europe, and South Africa, and several other countries. And then also we are exporting frozen banana. Also in terms of bananas, we are also producing banana juice and banana syrup. And one of our major export markets for banana syrup is Turkey, where they require it for blending other products. But of course, banana juice also have other potential nutraceutical properties, in the sense that it's very high in potassium, and and that helps a lot in lowering blood pressure and the like. Just 2 weeks ago, the government again opened a very big cassava processing factory in eastern Uganda, mainly for production of industrial starch and also pharmaceutical grade starch. And then other areas that we have gotten engaged in is in shea nut butter production, where we produce lotion, cosmetics, and the like. And this is one of the key, it's highly demanded by those that require organic insects. Still within the agriculture, we have a very huge groundbreaking innovation in Uganda. And I think the first vaccine to be produced at an industrial scale in Uganda is what is known as the anti-tick vaccine. Ticks are a big burden to farmers in Uganda. The cost of spraying per cow and per year could be something within the range of about $35, $40 per animal, and that's quite huge. But also in terms of tick-borne diseases, and then the loss of animals and the like, then you find out that the economic losses due to tick and tick-borne diseases is quite huge. So the National Research Agricultural Organization has developed an anti-tick vaccine where you inject, and then it reduces tick infestation significantly by over 95%. And this is very useful because the current pesticides herbicides that we are using, ticks have become resistant to them, and also it's not environmentally friendly, and they are high cost. Other things that we have also worked on is on edible insects as a source of protein and low-cost feed, especially for poultry. And then when it comes to the industrial bit of the bioeconomy, we have gone big in terms of biofuel, where now there is a policy on biofuel in Uganda, and there is a very huge factory producing biofuels, mainly from cornstarch and cassava. Now, in terms of forest and forest products, there are several products that are commercially exploited in Uganda, but mainly in terms of raw form and then processed in the export countries. And one of them, I don't know the scientific name, it's called mulondo. It's a root crop that is very much exported to China. And then there is also sandalwood, which produces organic perfumes, and it has very high commercial value. And there are several other examples that I can mention, but those are the key ones. And then at UNCST, that is Uganda National Council for Science and Technology, we have also done some data collection, especially on the National Research and Development Survey, where we have found out that over 60% of research conducted in Uganda is within the area of bioeconomy, and with the greatest fraction coming from biomedical sciences, then followed by agriculture. But the unfortunate bit is that when it comes to the industrial component of bioeconomy, we are talking of something of less than 5%. We have also done what is known as the National Research Infrastructure Survey, and the outcome of this survey indicated that most of the infrastructure that we have in Uganda is for basically basic research, but when it comes to incubation and large-scale production, that is quite limited. Now, within the Sub-Saharan Africa, in collaboration with other science councils, we have also done a mapping of donor funding flows into the different sectors of the economy. And what we have still found out is that most of the funding goes mainly for basic research, and very limited funding moves into industrial and commercialization. And I think that's, in terms of R&D, I would say that we have quite a number of prototypes and pipeline products, but very few have moved to large-scale commercialization. In the National Agricultural Research Organization, our main agricultural research entity, we have over 900 prototypes that have been developed, but very few have gone into commercialization. And the question that we are having is that out of this wide ecological biodiversity, the genetic resources, the opportunities, what can we do to make sure that we add value, we add scale, and we bring it to that level where commercialization is possible? That's where we shall create more jobs, and that's when the economic transformation and the aspirations of transforming our economy can be achieved. Now, when it comes to challenges, I have already hinted onto them, and one of them is infrastructure, and here we have data on infrastructure in the country, where most of the infrastructure cannot drive us towards commercialization and industrialization. The second one is on regulations. Uganda's economy is largely an informal sector economy. And somehow, the business community also prefers to be informal. They are always very reluctant to formalize. And the reason is that once you register once you formalize, once you have the tax identification number, then all these government agencies come to you, Uganda Revenue Authority and all that, asking for taxes. And this is not only in the bioeconomy, it also goes into like the tourism sector and the like, where you find out that somebody has a hotel, the hotel has done so well. Now, instead of opening another chain in another town, that person will not do that. Will either start a business or register that hotel in another name. Because if you are a micro and a small scale enterprise, and then you go to a medium scale enterprise, the taxation and the regulatory oversight will become severe. So that's one of the challenges that we have. But also, in terms of technology, we also have challenges from competing cheap technologies that are coming, especially when you look at China. Then the other problem is also the policy bit. If you're working in bioeconomy, sometimes to develop a product that is commercially viable will take you maybe between 4 to 8 years. And then somebody who is sitting on an ICT project, within maybe 6 months, he has already developed a commercially viable IT app. So how do we handle this process, convince our funders, convince our regulators that some bit of patience is important? There's need for patience capital. That is one aspect. Then there is what is known as certification cost by Uganda National Bureau of Standards, and that's still under regulation. When you're talking of bioeconomy, you are very likely to come up with very new and innovative products and whose standards does not even exist. So you will find out that the standards bodies might say, we need you to conform to this, but then that may not be feasible. Then the other bit, of course, and which is very major, and that this is something that we need to tackle quite seriously, is unsustainable use of biological resources, which forms the base of the pipeline. And we are looking at deforestation, degradation of wetlands, overfishing, some of the species that are of very high value getting lost. So those are some of the challenges. And of course, the funding issue, especially when it comes to scaling up and industrialization. Briefly, this is the overview I want to share with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Martin Ongol. Before they give their closing remarks, one perspective, can I invite only 4 questions or comments? Only 4, and you can direct it to a country. Let me start with Madam. Anybody with a mic?
Thank you very much. My question is directed to Dr. Martin from Uganda. You have talked a lot about the banana value chain and what you're doing there, but I would just like to understand what have you done to manage the banana waste generated and what opportunities exist to valorize this? Thank you.
Take all the questions, then they can just put down your questions if it directed you. Any other person? Yeah, we have a delegate here.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. Nashukuru kaka kutoka Tanzania. Nambii asifiwe kwao. Now, I asked a general question, which I think our good friend answered, but maybe I would just a general question to all of you on now the gaps that are within the bioeconomy strategies. For instance, the curriculum disconnect and the issues of ecosystem gap and maybe practical gaps. How are you doing it in your unique way in your countries? Because as our team leader there say that each country, yeah, we are coming in as general team, but we have uniqueness. We have diversities. We have some challenges within our countries and maybe within our regions, within our counties, where we need to develop maybe policies that customizes or basically that reflects the challenges we are facing within our area. So simply, how are you addressing these things from your country's perspectives? Thank you so much.
The last one, we have somebody, the delegate there.
Okay, thank you so much. I think this will go to each and every country because this is East Africa and has got different countries altogether. And each country has got its own legal frameworks. So when we talk of bioeconomy, my question is the legal framework or bioeconomy in your country being driven by sustainable goals or by economic survival? And which should come first? Thank you.
3, we can accept the 4th. If one is, yeah, we have here.
Thank you very much. My name is Collins Mwendam. What I love about this session that we are having is the richness of bio-entrepreneurs that we have, and also the representation of Rwanda, Uganda, and Tanzania. So as an entrepreneur, the question I'm asking myself is, how do we leverage on each other's strengths? That's the learnings from the other countries and the learnings we have, and also, how do we create linkages for us to be able to do business with bio-entrepreneurs in the different countries and the bio-entrepreneurs we have? From where we are, perhaps we need to look at how do we perhaps have a digital way of networking so that we are able to do business from each other. And when I add Sweden into the mix, how do we link with the businesses also in Sweden, which might not be here, but doing who are already experienced in bio enterprises, that we are able to link up and learn from them. Thank you very much.
Okay, back to the panelists. Let me start from Dr. Ngor. In response to the comments or questions raised. Thank you.
Sure. Thanks a lot for the questions. And I will start responding on the banana value chain. And actually, the banana value chain has a lot of wastage, right from the harvesting, the stem, the leaves, and the like. That's already a waste. And then, of course, there is the transportation of bananas. It's actually one of the bulkiest commodities. So the banana peel is a main waste. And I will start in the field. Of course, the banana stem and leaves, those are used for mulching and generation of biofertilizers. And you know, with the bioeconomy, recycling within the source is far much easier. In terms of magnitude, the biggest magnitude is from the banana peels, which I think, according to my estimation, can contribute even about 30 to 40% of what comes out of a banana bunch. And currently, these wastes are being used for production of bio fertilizers. And I can say that in Western Uganda, a ton of biofertilizer is still quite cheap, but it could be something like 300,000 Ugandan shillings. That is probably about $80 or so. And actually in some areas in Uganda, there is even shortage of fertilizers. But from the banana peel, preliminary research also indicates that it can act as an antibiotic, except that the purification and the yields and the commercial value is still low. The banana peels also can still be used in biogas production. And I think one of the things that need to be done more, I agree, is mainly in terms of valorization, training, capacity building, and a generation of technologies that can lower the cost and the like. And then in terms of the second question, gaps, I would talk about like in the curriculum. I would say that before COVID, there was a lot of emphasis on the theoretical aspects, but in Uganda at the moment, there's a lot of emphasis on production of knowledge-based goods and services, which is trying to ensure that at least like for a PhD, you need to produce a thesis, but at least you need to also have a product development journey. That's something that is still at the discussion level, implemented to a certain extent, but that needs to be done. And then in terms of financing, the government has what is known as agricultural credit facility, which is lending at about 12% interest rate. When you go to commercial banks, it's about 22%. But there is still a challenge in that, as I mentioned before, most of our entities are informal. So when the banks ask for cash flow, that becomes a very big headache. So those are some of the challenges. And then the policies. I one time did an analysis of Uganda's policies in terms of bioeconomy. I think there are about 60, 80 different policies touching bits here and there. So policy coordination is still an issue. And then there is that question on leverage and linkages. I would say that in Uganda, there is something that we have tried. It's known as the Technomat. It's an online platform that matches the innovators, the regulators, and then the businesses. And there you can present your problems and discuss. It's called the Technomat. But also at the moment, we're working on with the Ministry of Finance to develop a digital online interactive tool that allows players within the bioeconomy system to interact, co-create, and find ways of developing the industry. Briefly, that's what I can say. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. For me, let me respond to for me, the first question is on the gaps. Of course, I can say that there is the emphasis in Tanzania on bioeconomy issues and other issues, of course. We have Vision 2050, which prioritize in research and innovation as an enabler of the development, but the same vision also prioritize on agriculture, environment, and biodiversity, and production using those biodiversity. So, using our vision, there is a lot of emphasis I can say, but of course I can say we have in a curriculum also, we have just passed in last year the curriculum, and in Tanzania now we dedicate more in competent-based education, where we ensure that from primary school to university, students have to have a practical skill, end-on skill. And there are a lot of things in these technical universities are being produced, bio-based products, there are a lot of them. Even the one which I gave an example here in leather, and then Vuruga biopesticides, all of those are from university students. So there are a lot of things there. But I can say that we need to foster collaboration within the country, which we are doing, of course, but we need to foster collaboration within East Africa, within Africa, so that we make sure that we have a sustainable bio-based product chain or pathway and market. And coming to sustainability, we have a lot of policies in bioeconomy. Of course, we have national bioeconomy strategies, we have biotechnology strategies, we have biomass energy strategies, environmental policy, STI policy, national agriculture policy. All of these signage in bioeconomy development. Of course, unfortunately, we are not yet established the bioeconomy strategies as we required by ISTECO. Leveraging each other's steps, I can say in Africa, of course in South Africa, we have a collaboration in SGCI, I think we know it. We are collaborating a lot. We have a number of multilateral and bilateral projects, even within the bio-based research and innovations. So we need to strengthen these collaborations so that we produce the same thing, but we need to emphasize more in marketing, collaborating in marketing of the products produced within our countries. But we have a lot in research, we have a lot of collaboration in research, SGCI and other collaboration, even in ISTECO. Linkage also are there, of course. We don't have explicit linkage, digital linkage in a bio-based, but we have a linkage. For example, now we have developed a platform with Uganda UNST and Kenya and Malawi, of course, on an health part. But the same thing can be extended to agriculture, can be extended to biodiversity, can be extended to, so that we leverage the potentials we have in a bioeconomy in the country. So, okay, thank you very much. That is what I can say.
Thank you. The question was how to overcome the challenge we're facing in the bioeconomy strategy. So as I said, in Rwanda, even though we have the goal and the vision, 2050, this bioeconomy sector is still facing challenges. I can say, like in the policy, there is a fragmentation. So, this fragmentation of policy, climate policy, biomass, the bioenergy strategy, and so on, there is a lack of the national strategy on the bioeconomy, which although facilitated the effective implementation. Good that ISTECO is working with the institution, among others, the National Council for Science and Technology, to make this strategy into action. The other challenge we are facing is financial constraint. Every presentation has said that the financial constraint in the bioeconomy, it's elsewhere. So even for us, limited access to financial is a big challenge. The other challenge is the skills. We do not have enough human resource which have knowledge in the bioeconomy. You have challenge in infrastructure. So that challenge are being solved slowly, and hopefully that in the coming years it will be solved in collaboration with all stakeholders. The other question was on legal framework. We have a strong legal framework on bioeconomy. Among others, I have said the Vision 2050, the National Strategy for Transformation. We have environmental policy, which needs a framework, combined framework on bioeconomy strategy to fulfill the goal and implementation way. As then, as Rwanda bioeconomy is a matter to economic growth, to knowledge-based economy as a country, to health and well-being, food security, sustainability, and climate change. These all frameworks have a legal framework which need to be put into action toward the good implementation. The other question was how leveraging linkage bioeconomy as where any digital technology. There is a hope I'll need to build a platform, regional platform. I saw that the ISTECO is helping us as we are in the East African community, the region. Thanks to the initiative, we'll collaborate as all stakeholders to be in this framework. Once in the future, we'll have a collaboration, a digital networking, a digital platform where all these country states will have a common understanding and the common framework in implementing bioeconomy purpose. Thank you.
Thank you for the questions. I'm going to respond to the two questions that I believe were cutting across, and one being the gaps and the legal framework. And there are a lot of gaps in terms of, especially in South Sudan, that afflict the bio-based industrial development in South Sudan, both policy and institutional gaps. And as I said before, there's no dedicated national policy on our case for bioeconomy. There's lack of strong, that brings lack of strong, coherent bioeconomy, bioprocessing strategies, which actually leads to weak regulatory frameworks, and that hinders investment, in bio-based industries. There's limited research and innovation capacity, where infrastructure for biotechnology, bioprocessing, and labs is limited. And financing challenges, difficult in accessing capital for bio-based industries, especially the SMEs, weak incentive for private investors, and unclear business models for bio-based ventures. You also find there are complex land tenure systems and unclear rights over biomass resources. On the legal frameworks, I've just said there's no that policy in place yet, and we have also a framework that is anchored on sustainability, and it also incorporates the harmonization. When it is achieved, it incorporates the harmonization of the bioeconomy policy with other EAC partner states. And then it also have the aspect of knowledge sharing and research collaboration, because the bioeconomy will be achieved through collective funding research, project aimed to developing sustainable solution in bioeconomy sector. There will also be sustainability initiatives to ensure the bioeconomy policies are implemented. There is need to work collaboratively to assess and to ensure the environmental problems by all the member states of the East African community. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's applause the panelists for sharing their knowledge. And this marks our session. Over to you.
Let's clap for them again. Thank you very much, Fortunate. So as you can see, bioeconomy is very high. It's high on the agenda of many African countries, and each country is now developing their own dedicated strategies and policies. And Kenya, you heard from the permanent secretary yesterday, the position and the status of bioeconomy in Kenya. So I want to thank you, Fortunate, and the team for giving key highlights on the status of bioeconomy in your respective countries. So we only have a 5-minute presentation or less from Bioinnovate. We've heard about Bioinnovate. What are the opportunities that Bioinnovate has for innovators? And I want to take this opportunity to welcome Valin to take us through. Please put the presentation on.
Good morning, everybody. All protocol observed. All protocol observed, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Valim Mora. I work at ISIPE. My role is in communication, including managing communication at Bioinnovate Africa. So allow me to briefly introduce Bioinnovate Africa to you. I'm sure there are some of you who are aware of Bioinnovate Africa, but for those who are not familiar with Bioinnovate Africa, this is an opportunity for you to be informed briefly about it. So Bioinnovate Africa, basically we link science to business to create jobs and improve lives. Bioinnovate Africa is a regional science and innovation-driven initiative that is stimulating a sustainable bioeconomy in Africa. So how do we do this? At Bioinnovate Africa, we support scientists from the academia, and by academia, I mean scientists working in research institutions and universities. And these scientists must work together with business leaders like you here in this room, together with government officials. So Bioinnovate Africa business model emphasizes the triple helix concept, that scientists have to work together with business leaders and government officials to co-develop innovative, sustainable, bio-based products and services that address societal challenges. And when I mean, what I mean by support is that we provide funding, we send out grant, we put out a call, and then we invite scientists to apply for this opportunity, but they have to have partners who are business leaders, and also they also have a government official in their proposals or in their projects, and they have to be coming from the countries within Eastern Africa. So participating countries in the Bioinnovate Africa initiatives are 8. We have Burundi, we have Rwanda, we have Uganda, we have Tanzania, we have Ethiopia, we have South Sudan, DRC. Yeah, there are 8. So other than that, basically, in short, Bioinnovate Africa, we come in to ensure that this good research that are within the academia, they don't just stay in the lab. We come in with our support to ensure that it gets into the market and the community that these innovations are meant to transform. So Bioinnovate Africa is fully funded by the Swedish International Development Cooperation Agency, that is SIDA, and implemented by ICIPE. The innovation research projects that we support have to comply to 3 areas. The first one is value addition to agro-produce and other biological resources. The second one is agro and bio-based waste conversion in support of environmental sustainability. And then the last one is bio-based healthcare products. So other than supporting or funding bio-based projects as our core activity, we also have other opportunities that targets the young innovators. So we have a BioVenture hub, and through this platform, it's where now we provide capacity buildings to young innovators who have good innovation but yet to reach to the market. So the questions or the concerns that some of you raised about regulation, IP, that's where we take these young innovators and capacity build them, and even identify good innovation that we can still fund them to improve the innovation before now they can go to the market. Other than that, we also have other opportunities, but because of time, I invite you to visit our booth. We have a booth here, so that I can interact with you. I have my colleague Chanel with me. We can interact with you and inform you more about how you can be part of Bioinnovate Africa. Thank you.
Okay, friends and colleagues, we are ending this session and also, in a sense, ending the presentation part of this fair. But before we do so, I would just like to give you some final remarks of these 2 days, in a sense. Not because we still have the mingling and sort of one-to-one interaction, and the fair is still there. So please stay on as long as you like and mingle. I just want to say a couple of things. The first is that I think East Africa and you, Kenya, we should be, and you should be, proud of yourself, because you are an example for whole Africa. We've seen, not least to the Global Bioeconomy Summit that were held here in Nairobi last October, but also from the presentation by Fortunate there, and we had Valin presenting the Bioeconomy platform, and we heard all the presentations yesterday. East Africa and Kenya is leading the bioeconomy development in Africa. And we know that West Africa is looking to East Africa for inspiration, and also Southern Africa. And also in the global community, there has been a lot of recognition. We have the Bioeconomy Regional Strategy, AEC. It's the second regional strategy in the world after the EU one. So it's often mentioned as the way to go. So where we are now, we've seen from the presentations yesterday and today also that we have a sort of an enabling framework is there. It could certainly be improved. There's many things that needs to be sort of adjusted a bit, but the general framework is there, and there's a lot of support, I think, from politicians and from government level. What is needed in a sense now, and there's a lot of innovation, there's a lot of ideas, and we see that in the fair here. What we need now is to taking the next step, how to scaling up, how to make a greater development impact. And we talked about financing, we talked about business development, we talked about partnerships. So this is in a sense a part of the process here to continue. But it's been very inspiring, and as everybody said, I'm very impressed by you exhibiting here and all the entrepreneurship ideas that we have seen here. And it's a very good platform to build on. And for sure, we will now, SAI, talking from the standpoint of SAI, we will collate the ideas a bit, and we'll all the presentations here and also from the fair will be available for you to sort of on YouTubes and links and so on, and we'll make some type of proceedings from this fair as well. And we will get back to you. There will now be a Christmas break. I guess we all will go into Christmas breaks now, and we will come back to you in next year with the results of this. And then together with you, with all of you, we would like to enter the new chapter, or would like to continue the process. And how to do that exactly, we'll have to scratch our head and collaboratively with you sort of try to chart our way forward. We've seen these 4 roadmaps by the clusters, and there's more to do on those cluster roadmaps and more to do on that. So there's a lot of work to be done and a lot of partnerships to be continuing. So let's be in touch and let's communicate. And for certain, SAI, we will be there as your partner, and we will continue to grow with you in this, we call it endeavor, I would say, bioeconomy endeavor for East Africa and Africa. So I think you should all give yourself a clap and for a very successful fair and for you being here, and let's see this as a start of something that we will continue and will make an impact, all of us together. Thank you. And I guess we close the fair now, or we close the proceeding. The coffee is there. Please have a coffee and let's start mingle.
start with your name, just the normal introduction, and then what business student does.
Okay. Oh, I can look at you. Okay. My name is Winfred Kjærje. I'm a consultant at Business Sweden. Business Sweden is the Swedish Trade and Invest Council of the Embassy of Sweden. We support Swedish businesses in the different markets that we are in. So for Kenya, with the Nairobi office, we support Swedish companies to grow their sales in the region. And in the region, in this case, I mean East Africa. So how we support is through market expansion, sales acceleration, and that sales acceleration includes partner search. And lastly, we also support with what we call business support services. And in this particular project, we have been working with the Stockholm Environment Institute for the past few months to map out the Swedish actors that are in the region in Kenya and also Swedish actors in Sweden that could be interested in the Kenyan market.
So what are some of the gaps and opportunities that you identified during the mapping exercise?
The mapping exercise has been very eye-opening, seeing that there are many innovative ideas, many MSMEs that have different solutions in the bioeconomy space. And we see that there are opportunities for collaboration, not only with the businesses, but also with the researchers, as well as with the government, especially when it comes to policy and regulations. Sorry?
Why she asked the question, just answer the question.
Oh.
What is money? Yeah.
So I repeat what we identified during the mapping is one, that financing is still a hindrance for many businesses and for many entrepreneurs. And so there is need for innovative financing, both from Team Sweden and also locally. Another gap that we identified is that the regulations and policies need to be a bit more at pace with the technology. So there is a lot of technology, there's a lot of innovation, but unfortunately we see that it's not at the same pace with the policy implementation.
Can you, what would you say?
What I would say to Swedish companies that are thinking to enter into the market is that they should take advantage of the fact that we already have something that is ongoing. So we have several MSMEs that are working in this space, and all they need is, the ground is set, all we need is enabling factors like financing. And so I would say that they are not coming to start from scratch. They're already coming to work with people who are already innovative and they have the entrepreneurial spirit. So they need to come. And hey, anyway. in the region is bright, given the trends in green transition, carbon financing. So we are seeing that it's going to continue growing, and we hope that to see more collaboration amongst the different stakeholders. I believe the ABDK project was a success. One, because it's one of the ways that we want to work going forward as Business Sweden. And that's because a lot of the times we try to sell Sweden to Kenya, not the other way around. But in this case, we have tried to reach out to the companies based on what is already happening on the ground, and we see a lot of traction from the companies that came down to Kenya and those that would have wanted to, but they didn't manage to come, and they were very interested to understand what the engagements were, who was present. And so we see that going forward, working like this and also having the B2B fairs is the way to go. One, because it gives the companies, especially the Swedish actors, the practicality of things, of businesses. So I believe that this project was a success, and I believe that it sets space on how we can continue working as Business Sweden in the region and globally.
Can you stand here? Can you finish on that side? On that background? Is it okay? Okay, you can mute. It's fine? Yeah. Okay. So, it's just, I know you've been with you since the
From Green Without Borders. Green Without Borders, we work under Mugala Naturals brand name. And in the Mugala Natural brand name, we offer products, value addition from cassava, sorghum, sweet potato. So the products are breakfast cereals, we have cookies, we have healthy snacks, we also have the flours. The project has been a very nice project. It's been eye-opening. We've been able to do what we call peer-to-peer network learning. We were able to understand what other countries are doing in East Africa. And now we are happy that the government has embraced biotechnology. So basically, there are good things coming in the way, because when opportunities are there, then you believe that the economy is doing well for sustainable development. We've also had the chance to have interactions with the business from Sweden, whereby now they are trying to showcase how we can improve our value addition. So we are looking for at better times with the partnership between Sweden and Kenya in the biotechnology atmosphere.
Do you think the EBDK project was a success?
It has been a success because where we are at the moment, we've gained enough knowledge to know what bioeconomy is. We've also interacted with other people and the stakeholders whom we did not understand. We even understand about the policy briefs that are making it possible for us to thrive. So it has been a success all through, and we are happy about the exhibitions. We are even showcasing our products to the world. So it has been quite a success.
What are some of the lessons you have taken away from this project?
Lessons is that biotechnology and circular economy is the way to go, and it's a very, I can say, an economy that is growing, and it has very many aspects of benefits from the downstream and the upstream of any value chain we're talking of, be it in value processing, be it in the green energy. There's a lot of opportunities across the value chains. There's also what we can talk about income generation, employment, and furthermore, sustainable development of the East African region at large. Parting short, food is medicine and medicine is food. Yeah. Oh. Okay.
We can do.
Transportation costs. At transport, how many people
My name is Belinda Ogolo. Business is VG Foods Limited. At VG Foods Limited, we do fruit pulp, we do syrups, we do preserves. What we brought today is preserves, fruit preserves. Our pulps and preserves are made from 100% real fruit, which we source locally. And yeah, that's it.
Tell us about the cluster you
Sir? Cluster. It's been great. It's been enlightening. I get to learn a lot of things, like my neighbor here doing gluten-free flour. So we have moringa and everyone else. It's really been enlightening.
do you think the ABDP project has been a success and why?
Yes, the ABDK project has been a success because I've seen it open platforms for us. We've seen investors coming in and asking questions, so it's been a success, total success.
What are some of the lessons you have carried out with this project?
Some of the lessons, sorry, I've carried from this project. Oh yeah, some of the lessons I've carried from this project, I can say the networking has been a good lesson for me because I get to know how other people conduct their B2B. Well, and I've also learned how I can also export my things and everything. Please, if you are a yogurt manufacturer, ice cream manufacturer, your hotel industry, you can use our pulps and syrups and preserves even at home. They're really good. Yeah. Thank you.
We had now to, Jerry had to come. You know, and then now my worry is that you know we are developers. So you need to know what to do about it.
Ya Mudoni. I'm a co-founder at EcoBanana Limited, where we manufacture biodegradable sanitary pads using banana fiber. With the remains, we're able to make the table mats and carpets using the women in the community. And apart from that, we have this amazing pad ATM, whereby it's for school-going children mostly, whereby if you cannot afford, let's say 70 shillings or 80 shillings to buy for a whole pack, you can actually just put a coin, a 10 shilling coin, and you're able to get a pad. So basically what you do is select either of the rack. I'm going to select rack 1, then I put in. Now it has come out. It means that it cannot actually take your money and not give you a pad. So I'm going to again do the selection. It's gone. Now I have to wait for the pad. Here's the pad. So with a 10 shilling coin only, you can actually get this very efficiently and very fast. I was in cluster 3, and in cluster 3, it was actually an amazing cluster. I got to interact with different people behind different innovation, doing different things. And what caught my eye is the fact that all these team members are very innovative. And at the end of the day, yes, you came in with a product, but when you get a part in the industry is what most people ask. Being an innovator and coming up with something from scratch, I think that is one of the main things that sets us apart. Making a product in Kenya from scratch is also something that I would have never thought of, but it has set me apart. The product itself, it's biodegradable, convenience, and very fair price. So when you are able to compare between what is in the market and what we have, then you will find a lot of difference in a good way, of course. So yeah, I think those are some of the things that set us apart. And being able not only to lead by just looking and observing, but being part and parcel of the process, it makes everything different.
Maybe you can tell us, when you were starting out, did you have a problem with either certification, registration, how long was the process? Is it an affordable process or not?
Okay. When we were starting out and we had ready products that we were supposed to certify, with the cabs, it took a little bit longer. I'm not sure, probably because they were trying to see, is it actually biodegradable? Is it actually organic? Because there is saying and there's the actual thing. So I'm not sure if it took longer because of the biodegradability aspects. but the process for us, it wasn't as rough as most people see. So I feel for ours, it was a bit better. I think Ambassador ndiye alifanyika kwa hivyo. After she came, the next day Kebs people came. And they're like, we're here for the product. So we're like, okay, we didn't call you, but okay.
You can have it.
You can have it, so.
But Nico,
Yes, yes. Yes, yes, because you appear there. And you explain. Another problem is that when you see our interest, it's almost 80%. Yeah, so you can
Oh yeah, you had put the fees there, yeah. Oh yeah, cheap fish, or these are the bags, it's 15 kilo bags, isn't it?
Yes, exactly. It's very good. So now that we're getting yes. Please. Let me use let people it's called synergy. Sure. Exactly. So give me your ticket once to meet you.
Yeah, it is. And how do you
Ile side nyingine si kama imeface ndio tu kama tuko hapa pigia tu picha tu hapa mbili tunaenda ile screen simeface hapa ndio hapa screen huko ile shamba project simeface hapa so nipigie picha screen kama tunaonekana screen ya huko ile na nielewa sasa picha tu hata mbili kama tatu.
Yes, you have a business school.
Solutions. We are based in Isiolo. We've been working with the ASAL communities for the last 18 months. Our motivation for starting the business was the need to transition communities that have been dependent on aid for so long from aid to trade on nature-based solutions that are easily available in the areas where they operate. So we started this venture where we work with the communities. They collect seeds for us from tree seeds, and also they farm fodder, and we buy the fodder seeds from them. We get them certified by Calro and Kefri, and then the ones that are certified, we go back to the community again. We harvest an invasive species called Prosopis gilliflora, a local name Madenge, and we use that biochar to make seed balls that are easier to propagate in the arid and semi-arid lands. We mainly target the arid and semi-arid lands because there's a need to restore them. They support 16 million livelihoods. They cover 80% of Kenya's landmass.
They support over 90% of our livestock and over 95% of our wildlife. Thank you.
So tell us about the cluster you are in and some of the opportunities that you are looking for coming into the project.
I was in the Sustainable Bioenergy Cluster, and coming into these, some of the things that we are looking for was a catalyzing fund for this particular cluster, and also we were looking at ways of collaboration within the industry so that we have a self-regulation in terms of quality and in terms of occupational health and safety. At the same time, we're looking at harmonization of standards and also collaborating with our policymakers so that we have harmonized standards for the industry. And when we came into these, we've been happy that we've had engagements with the government through the PS for Trade. We've had engagements with business partners from Sweden, bilateral partners from Bioinnovate Africa, including others. And I believe it's a conversation that is going to continue. Some of the enterprises that are here have gotten solutions already, and others they've gotten some leads on what they can do to better their understanding. And we also have collaborations with Swedish businesses that are represented here, which is a plus that for the enterprises in this particular cluster.
In your own words, do you think the ABDK project was a success and why?
The ABDK project was particularly important, and it came at the right time for ventures like mine because we've been in operation for the last 18 months and we're operating in quite a changed environment where aid and traditional finance is not flowing. So the ABDK came in at the right time to help us connect with other entrepreneurs, business partners, bilateral partners to be able to navigate to the next chapter. So we believe it came in handy. It will enable us to take the next step so that we don't close shop very soon. Thank you.
What would you say is one of the biggest community impact that your business has had in your area of operation?
Wow. When it comes to talking to them intended, some of them unintended but good benefits. So when we first started doing this, the aim was to put money in the pockets of communities by trading with them on nature-based solutions. So we started by buying seeds from them, encouraging them to grow fodder. When they grow fodder, they keep the hay for their animals during the dry season. So we have some of the communities already experiencing drought, but they are not affected because they have hay for these. An intended benefit that we got from these was in one community that we worked with in Baragoi, we went to buy seeds from them, and the community saw that it was a lucrative venture. So a couple of months later, we got a call to go back to the community. There's a group that had seeds to sell to us, and when we visited this group, it was a very unique group in that they were reformed Morans, warriors who had been doing cattle raiding, but they were giving up the guns to start fodder farming so that they can generate revenues from that. And we've been engaging from them. And from that one group, they've grown to 6 groups. And currently we have close to 600 Morans that have transitioned from conflict to farming fodder, and they sell us seeds. Yes.
Parting shots.
Parting shot.
Maybe to
SEI, thank you SIDA, thank you the Swedish Embassy, thank you Bioinnovate Africa, thank you via Agroforestry, and thank you to all the bilateral partners who've been present, all entrepreneurs who've tried to make this a success. It's been a tremendous success. I've networked enough. I have learned so many new things. I've built new friendships, new partnerships, and new collaborations across borders because of this engagement. And I've learned so much to collaborate with the academia, and we look forward to more opportunities like this so that we can grow the bioeconomy sector in Kenya and Eastern Africa as a whole. Thank you.
Hi.
Raw pipes. This is. Yeah, by the way. In fact, I just later.
Kita kalau yang siapa ni yang koi di koi.
Lên đó kìa.
Ada je ada je.
Lên đó kìa.
Koi. Koko na tunasema iko wapi? Nataka nionyeshe.
Huku. Huku.
Uliona wapi? Kadek.
Sio
Naona next.
Oh, nikionaje ta?
Wewe. Ladies ndio wanaonekana mzuri. Kameraman. Onja popcorn ya popcorn ya millet. Mmoja anasema mpaka hapa ni nini?
Kikwenye mnahitaji.
Na last time nichukulie ndio
Kikwenye mahali mnahitaji.
hapa
Mudirango. I work with organic foods. Organic food make a biofertilizer from food waste called high grow organic fertilizer. It's the major product that we have, though we have others for top dressing and controlling other problems for the farming, all made from biodegradable materials.
Can you tell us what raw materials do you use for to make your product?
Okay, we use the food waste, and the food waste, there is quite a wide range of food waste because we go to the market, we collect all the degradable materials from the cabbages, from the vegetables, from the maize, from the carrots, all those products that goes to waste when we are selling. We also go to the estates, we get the peelings, we get from Tatu City mostly, from the peelings. The markets, we go to Ruiru market and Kiruturai market. For the estate, we go to Tatu City. We also go to the farmers. At the farm, we get the food which has been harvested, like now the list covers the thrashed beans, the remains. We go to Mwea, we get the rice husks, but the rice husk, what we do, we carbonate it to get the biosha, macadamia fan, not macadamia fans, but macadamia shells. We also get the shells and we carbonate them to get the biosha. All those products, we combine them when we are making our products, and we have the end product. After 3 months, it will look like this one. We compost, and then we compost for 3 months. we sheaf, then we also add those other bio ingredients and we granulate. So that's what we do.
Okay, tell us about the cluster you are in and some of the opportunities you came looking for by the ABBK project.
The cluster that we are in is cluster 2, where we are doing the farm inputs, and the opportunities that we are looking is more training to the farmer, to people, more awareness creation, so that many people can know about the product, its benefits, how it is working, why we are promoting it. We want so many people to know about it, and we want also people to have that knowledge about it and where they can source. So that's why we have come here at least to ensure that we tell the world what we are doing and where they can get this product from.
Okay, so in your own words, do you think the ABDK project has been a success and why? Kisha umetaja hiyo ABDK. ABDK.
ABCK. The ABCK has been very instrumental. One, they have also hold our hands, and they have shown us the direction to where we didn't know. They have shown us that there is quite a lot of opportunity. They have given us a time to interact with the other people, so that we can also know better what they are doing, and they even understand what we can also rectify from whatever we have been doing. So they have been very, very instrumental.
Tell us one thing you've gotten from the ABBK project.
We have been given some seed money, at least to promote our business. We have been trained. We have been brought to exhibit our products so that many people can see and know about it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
a Swedish organization, right? Let's just see if we can get one.
magic guy who will come from Sweden, invest in Kenya, and then Kenya will be a successful country. That doesn't work like that. So what's important is that, I mean, you have your challenges, for example, right? So, I mean, we help to save water. So Kenya, and as well as most of the African countries, have problems with water, so has water scarcity. At the same time, you need to provide food to the growing population, and you need to use this water wisely. So what we developed is the solution that helps you to save like the very last drop of water that you have. So right now, maybe you have somebody going through the field doing it manually, but this is not effective. And also that's done during by day, and that during the daytime, the evaporation is high, the water is evaporating, you're not saving water, you're wasting water. If you automate it and do that during the nighttime instead, you will automatically save between 30 and 50% of water. But you need to automate it. And in order to automate it, you need to provide some solutions. And we have such solution. And it's not expensive, but the initiative should come from you. So it's not that I will come and say like, okay, I'm going to install this solution everywhere, and then your agriculture will become efficient. No, you need to agree, to that, and you need to make some investments, because what you're doing now, in my opinion, sometimes maybe you waste too much resources. Sometimes maybe you're doing things that you could do much more optimal. Because I think that the potential of the Kenyan market and like East African market and the African market in general is huge. It's much more bigger than anywhere in Europe. Because in Europe, this thing is not new anymore. And where it needs to be implemented, it's implemented already. Or maybe somebody's like had some old wired-based controller and then they replace it with wireless system. Now we can control everything from the internet. Now we can have all the data, we can have all the insights, we can have analytics, we know exactly how much water we use, we know exactly what's going on in the soil, we know how much fertilizers we need to use and so on. But in order to fight this problem, because what most people don't know is that agriculture is responsible for 70% of fresh water consumption in the world. But even now, we have 1 billion people in the world who have problems to accessing fresh water for 1 month a year. And this number will grow, because 70% of fresh water is used by agriculture, and that's where the waste is happening. So we should stop wasting water in the agriculture, and then we'll have enough fresh water for the whole world and then more. In general, I think that this is a really good initiative. Of course, some people should be interested, and they know that the technology exists, and they are excited. They haven't heard about it, they haven't seen it, and this is for us the opportunity, to show that this is existing. But what we really believe that if we work together, then we can, take this water scarcity to the minimum level, and we can save as much water as we can. Also, we can increase the crop yield, and also we can do it much more efficiently. So win-win for everybody.
I just had one question.
Yeah.
I have heard you want a different approach for how this whole, maybe Kenya and Sweden bioeconomy actors were to work together. Which do you think is the best approach? Is it you coming down here, them there, and markets?
No, in any business, I think first is the market demand, and then the market supply. So it's no use for us to come here with all this equipment and sit here for several days and wait for buyers to come and buy it. No, it's we have this much water to irrigate this field. That's it. And if you're gonna have the guy running around and doing that, you're going to spend it in 1 week. So we can last it the whole season until you get your crops. So, and then you should say okay, we have this much water and this is our field. Help us to make it enough. And then we can come and then we can help you. But before that, we cannot just sit here and then it's okay, do you need it? Maybe you need it? No? There is no use. It's waste of money.
So, what will you tell Swedish companies out there trying to venture
We,
into
we,
the
we are trying to help you. Of course, we are looking for business opportunities, but we are not going to spend our own money in order to force you to help yourself. You understand?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That was good.
Thank you.
Now we will come without work.
To come here.